We appreciate the opportunity to present our recommendations for an international business venture in Chile. Based on the research by Mike Moore, Heather Phipps, Rob Smith, Pam Steffes, and Marianne Ward, we anticipate you will conclude that 100 Montaditos is a viable business proposal. 100 Montaditos is a franchise chain of the Restalia Group of Spain, which combines leisure and gastronomy in a unique catering concept. Based on an extensive offering of 100 miniature sandwiches and other items at unique and highly competitive prices, 100 Montaditos has been designed according to a formula of sustained growth and best possible locations. This has led to the brand being represented in leading shopping and leisure complexes and on many of the main shopping streets in their selected markets. A competitive price advantage is important to our franchise success. 100 Montaditos is remarkable for the very low price sandwiches, Montaditos, and beer. A mug of beer for €1, $1.42 US, every day of the week is one of the enticements. This is very comparable to brew pubs, microbrews, sushi bars, and hot dog shops in Concepcion. With our beer and sandwich model, there is no shortage of locally produced beer to serve. 85% of the Chilean beer market is lager and can be obtained in country. Since Chilean beer consumption grew more than 30% between 2004 and 2008, we will be able to quench the thirst of our target demographic with ease. Starting with 3 locations in Spain in 2001, 100 Montaditos has expanded to 170 locations across Spain, the US, France, and Portugal. The restaurants recreate the feel and decor of traditional 20th century Spanish taverns, helping to give the brand its very own and singular image. The Nostalgia Group attributes their success to the franchise by corporate support for strict business plans, personnel training, commercial and marketing motivation and strategy, continuous investment in R&D, centralized logistics, great negotiation and purchasing capacity with their main benchmark suppliers, and thorough control of direct operations in the restaurants through quality audits and service. Opening a 100 Montaditos franchise is a great opportunity for entrepreneurs with more extensive marketing vision, as this is a business with moderate financial investment and high yield. Franchise opportunities exist for as little as $148,235 US for a kiosk or $479,178 US for a restaurant, which includes a one-time startup fee, IT, technical and project management, as well as civil engineering and tenant improvements. It does not include rent or ownership of the property. Additionally, a 7% variable monthly royalty of sales is required on the 10-year agreement. The food required for our restaurant is also available locally, and the parent company employs a great negotiating and purchasing capacity with the main benchmark suppliers for ease of procurement of goods. We intend to bring 100 Montaditos to Concepcion, Chile. Chile is a beautiful country comprised of a long stretch of land along the western coast of South America. Chile has been given first place among Latin American countries for its attractive business environment by the Economic Intelligence Unit. The country scored 7.43 points out of a maximum of 10, and it's its 17th place in the world. Chile's world ranking for an attractive business environment will likely continue to improve in the future due to the country's effective policies, labor market, and infrastructure. The population of Chile is over 16 million, with 50% of the population under the age of 25 and an average age of 32. This young age lends itself to a large labor force and customer base. Chile is in first place in the Latin American Talent Index ranking of 2009, which estimates the availability of labor for the next several years. Unemployment in Chile is low, ranking between 5 and 7%. Chile does have strong labor laws, and the Constitution acknowledges the rights of workers to work in a non-discriminatory environment and to form unions and bargain collectively. Fringe benefits do not need to be covered by corporations, as they are covered by Social Security institutions. The average monthly wage in Chile for a 45-hour work week is comparable to the United States and Europe. As such, employees are inclined to stay with the same company for long periods of time. The government of Chile has been stable since 1990, when the dictatorial military regime was overthrown and a democratically elected president installed. The Chilean government is based on a multi-party republican framework with an established effective rule of law. The country risk score, which as a compilation of political risk, economic projections, structural assessments, debt indicators, credit rating, access to finance, and access to capital markets, is 74.4, which is similar to the United States country risk of 82.07. Foreign businesses in Chile are afforded the same rights and responsibilities as Chilean corporations. Chile has the strongest laws in Latin America to protect property rights. Foreign investors and businesses are afforded the same property rights for physical and intellectual property as Chilean nationals. Chile also has antitrust laws which protect the freedom of competition. Financing in Chile has a low interest rate and is relatively easy for foreign businesses to obtain through the Central Bank of Chile. Bank accounts can be kept in either US dollars or in the Chilean currency, the peso. The Foreign Investment Law guarantees access for foreign businesses to the foreign exchange market. Registration of a company or branch of a corporation is simple and transparent. Chile has strong foreign relations policies. The country is strongly committed to free trade and has 20 trade agreements with 57 countries, including free trade agreements with North America, the European Union, Central America, and parts of Asia. Chile has very few trade restrictions in an effort to continue to improve and grow its economy. Chile is an active member of the United Nations and has diplomatic relations with most countries. In addition to free trade agreements, Chile has agreements with 22 countries to avoid bilateral taxation of imports and exports. Chile's corporate tax rates are one of the lowest worldwide at just 17%. A number of tax concessions, regional incentives, and industry incentives are available to foreign businesses. Chile's internal transportation network is relatively well developed. Chile has multiple airports which connect with most other countries of the world. Chile has a modern and growing network of highways and railways which connect the entire territory. All of Chile's regions have major maritime terminals administered by the state or private companies. Around 80% of Chile's foreign trade circulates through its ports. Chile is currently ranked as the 43rd easiest place of doing business. Furthermore, it is ranked 62nd for starting a business. It can take an average of 22 days to open a company in Chile, and recently the government has enacted laws to try and reduce the red tape for small and medium-sized enterprises by reducing the time to open a business from 22 days to 16 days. Only Peru requires less time to open a business in Latin America. As such, foreign direct investment was up 25% from the previous year, and Chile boasts one of the highest ratios of foreign direct investments to GDP in the Economic Cooperation and Development. Chile has a market-oriented economy with high level of foreign trade. Furthermore, they have gained a reputation for having strong financial institutions and sound policies. Thus, Chile has the strongest sovereign bond rating in South America. Exports account for more than one-fourth of the GDP, with commodities making up some three-quarters of the total exports. In addition, Chile ranks as the world's 21st most transparent country, according to the Transparency International. This is the highest ranked country in Latin America. Looking at the market potential in Chile, Chile has one of the highest purchasing power parities in South America and has been designated by the World Bank as upper middle income. Chile became a member of the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development in May of 2010 and is the first South American country to do so. Once a relatively poor country, Chile has transformed itself over the past decade. Ongoing progress in macroeconomic policy, structural reforms, trade and investment, and regulations has brought prosperity to the country. A range of governance indicators relating to both political and economic conditions shows that Chile has caught up with and even surpassed OECD averages. The government's key objective is to raise average gross domestic product by up to 6% over 2010 to 14, and according to the World Bank, GDP growth is expected to reach 6.5% in 2011. The Chilean government has policies to actively pursue foreign investors and startup businesses. Chile is actively working to become a hub of innovation. The Chilean government is paving the way for foreign businesses by giving roughly $40,000 to qualified startup companies and is providing a liaison to foreigners to help them learn the culture and make certain transparencies exist with getting their visas and business licenses. In Chile, we have selected Concepcion as the location for our franchise. Concepcion, Chile is the capital of Chile's Concepcion province and the second largest urban area in the country. Concepcion has an estimated population of 890,000. The economy is focused on manufacturing, but the city is also a center of product distribution, service industries, and the finance for the region. Local trade is also a big portion of Concepcion's economy, and several trading centers exist around the city. Concepcion is host to 6 professional football teams, 4 universities, and a naval base, and is primarily considered a student town. As such, this infrastructure has created the so-called University District, which is full of student-oriented bars with inviting prices that encourage a youthful nightlife, with many Chilean rock bands getting their start in the city. Therefore, Concepcion is full with a young and active population, the perfect target base for our franchise. How will we market our product to our target demographic? Well, 100 Montaditos has an established social marketing philosophy which fits well with our target market, since Chileans spend 29% of their time online in social media sites. With 9.25 million internet users, almost 20 million mobile cellular subscribers, and 9.5 million Facebook users, we will be able to utilize the social marketing tools prevalent in this country. Increasingly, social network sites are important for advertising. As an example, many of the restaurants do not have a website per se. However, they do have a page on Facebook, which includes their business hours and frequently some special events or photographs. Although Concepcion has a strong manufacturing and distribution industry, Chile as a whole welcomes franchises to its country. This industry sector provides 25,000 jobs and accounts for an annual sales of $570 million. Currently, there are approximately 150 franchise businesses operating in Chile. Of this amount, 33% are from the United States, 24 are local, 10 are from Argentina, and the remainder from an assortment of other countries. The majority of the franchises are in an area of quick service restaurants, which accounts for 35% of the total industry. In 2010, the franchise industry in Chile registered sales of 658 million US dollars, a 5% increase compared to 2009. The first US franchise concepts to arrive in Chile in the late 80s were McDonald's, Pizza Hut, and Kentucky Fried Chicken. Of the US food franchises operating in Chile, Subway is the only like competitor, and it has no stores in Concepcion. Finally, most of the restaurants in Concepcion are either small and part of a small local chain or independent, whereas 100 Montaditos comes with a large corporate chain structure and support. Chile is 6.3 on a scale of 0 to 10 and 28th globally in protecting investors. Since we are participating in a franchise, it is important to note that Chile ranks 66th in enforcing contracts. Each of these words were searched in English and in Spanish to find products that may be in competition with 100 Montaditos in Concepcion, because many of these are options for those who might be deciding where to eat that night. Certain competitors, such as kiosks and street vendors, which comprise the bulk of some markets, are not a significant part of the food offering in Concepcion. Concepcion has many other offerings. There are all varieties of ethnic dishes at high-priced restaurants, $10 to $40 a plate. Other food vendors, such as the brew pubs and sports bars, are more in direct competition. In addition to sandwich shops, there are a number of vendors, such as this sushi bar, with listings comparable to the 100 Montaditos pricing. One can purchase two nigiri pieces, for example, for about $2 US. Their beer is similarly priced, especially during specials. We thank you for your time and believe you will agree that the market conditions in Chile and Concepcion specifically are favorable to this business venture. We look forward to working with management as we bring this exciting new franchise, 100 Montaditos, to Concepcion, Chile. Thank you.